Hello there, Nightmare here. I've actually been able to meet up with my friend Redactyl. He's standing behind the camera, taking care of everything as far as the camera goes, so hopefully this won't be messed up by the camera in any way, shape, or form. Well, here it is, my instrument collection, minus my MIDI keyboard, which I'm not going to put out here because I don't feel like connecting it to my laptop. I'm actually going to show you everything, how it sounds, what I think about it. We're going to start with the ocarinas. Why? Because that's one of my more popular instruments. We're going to start with the story that I have behind the ocarina, actually. Now, the only reason I feel fit to make this video is because, as most of you might know, Jazz or David Ramos, I worked with him at DragonCon, and I got to play many instruments, and I got quite a few pointers from him. I'm not trying to get up on a high horse about myself, but I learned quite a bit over that weekend of working like 8 hours plus straight a day. Learned quite a bit doing nothing but playing and selling ocarinas. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the pendants, then we're going to move on up to the 12 holes. We're going to start with the deepest and go to the highest. So, as you can see, these pendants right here all come from two different manufacturers, Songbird and STL. Songbird, STL, Songbird, Songbird, STL, STL, STL. This is actually a pendant, by the way, for anyone who didn't know. It's not a pendant. STL and Songbird that no longer makes this. So we'll go ahead and just move this out of the way for now, since it's not a pendant. Okay. In order, there we go. In order from deepest sounding to highest sounding, I think I would put the shield and the rupee at the lowest. They just have a deeper sound, probably because they're slightly larger. It is slightly cold out here, so these ocarinas aren't going to sound as good as they could. Ocarinas, I found, tend to sound better when they're a little bit warmer. But the rupee, it's very nice. You can wear it as a necklace. It's a bit heavy as a necklace, but it's nice. It complements me well because I love green. And it's money. Who doesn't love money? It sounds very clear. As you can see here, STL likes to sign their ocarinas. It's very hard to see though, unless you get real up close to it in person. And it does have a very clear sound. It does sound very nice. Overall, I'd say if you're more of a Legend of Zelda fan than most, you probably like this. So, that's the rupee. A little bit higher up from the rupee, also from STL, is the STL version of the shield pendant. One thing to notice that makes the shield pendant different in STL as opposed to getting one from Songbird is STL actually incorporates the design where the 4 thumb holes are on the shield design and the thumb holes are on the back. It's reverse with the Songbird. Also, the STL is slightly larger, and when you get the ocarina, you get the ocarina and a songbook, and that's pretty much it. When you get the shield from Songbird, you actually get a nice little collector's case, and the design is actually different too. This is actually just the design is incorporated into the shield itself, whereas with Songbird they took the design and put it on a white ocarina, so it's more like a picture. And this is how the shield from STL sounds. It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's got a slightly higher sound than the rupee, I believe. you'll pay attention to the details. This is not the same as the Songbird shield design either, because the Songbird uses, I believe, the Ocarina of Time design for the Hylian shield, whereas this uses, I can't remember the game this design is from, Twilight Princess maybe, but the I got black. This also comes in the same shade of blue as the Ocarina of Time is here roughly, and they both look very nice. I just decided I wanted a black one because I'm going to get the one from Songbird sometime in the future. Next on the list of pendants, we're going to play this. Now they no longer sell these as far as this particular model goes, because this is the Fairy Ocarina. This was one of my first ocarinas ever. They still sell this in the Ocarina of Time edition, but they don't sell it as a Fairy Ocarina anymore. So sadly this is sold out, but this is what it sounds like. You get the idea. It's a little bit higher in pitch than the others. It's very nice to hold because it's so nicely shaped. It's nice and smooth. It very nicely replicates the way that the Fairy Ocarina looks in the game, for 6-hole especially. This 6-hole. Everything so far. Actually, yeah, all my pendants are 6-hole. No 4-holes here. Haha. Next up, we have the Seed Pod from Songbird. Now this is actually the Seed Pod that I bought while I was working at Dragon Con with David. While I was playing it, I decided, you know what, this Seed Pod sounds pretty good. Should I get one in Starfire? No, I like the Tai Chi in Starfire better. Wound up selling that one on the street, different story, tell that later. Seed Pod, what I like about it, it's got a nice deep sound, it's got a simple design, it's also a very unique design, and also, when you compare this to the Tai Chi, because this is going to be larger and sound deeper, I like to call this the big brother of the Tai Chi. It just sounds deeper and nice, and that gives you an idea what it sounds like. And yes, it's a very, very nice ocarina. Again, pendant. Thing about Songbird pendants, you see this little knot right here? Well, that little knot is made from pulling. Yeah. When you get your pendant from Songbird, it's actually going to be about this short, and you're going to find different little strands. You pull the strands apart on the two separate strings, and eventually it'll be this long. You need it to be this long, or else you can't wear it as a pendant. It will not fit over your head. I found this out the hard way with the next ocarina that we're going to be pulling out. The Seed Pod. Now I know I'm going a little off track as far as what I said I'd be doing in the beginning, but because of the story I need to show you. I didn't realize that you could do that with the pendants, and I actually wound up cutting it and trying to fashion it in a way that I could. I really don't know what I was doing. Really?
Go on.
I really don't know what I was doing, but this teardrop pendant in black has been with me for 2 years at least. It sounds very nice. It's one of the better higher sounding pendants I've ever had, and it sounds a little like. So it's a bit higher sounding than most other pendant ocarinas, but it's also clear sounding, and it's not too high in pitch. Next we have what I call the health potion. STL sells these in red, green, and blue. I chose red because I really don't have many red ocarinas. Plus, I would prefer health over mana any day. I'm usually a warrior. This is a actually very uniquely shaped ocarina. Very simple design, but still very unique shape because it's got the cork and the lip of the bottle. When you get this, you actually have to put the string in yourself. This is one of the only ones where you actually put the string in and tie it yourself. So when you get the box, there should be a string inside if you decide to get this. And it sounds a little like... So it's very nice, quiet too. It is very quiet compared to the rest so far, don't you think? So if you're looking for a deeper sounding pendant that's quiet and looks like a potion from a video game, it's for you. This little guy I got from STL. It is a hammerhead shark ocarina. This I'm actually personally calling my engagement ocarina, because the day that I no longer have this, it will belong to the girl that I want to marry.
No.
Shut up. It's not the best sounding ocarina, I will say that, but it's more of supposed to be something for the looks. If you look, they did real well with the gills, they did real well with the eyes, they made a nice spotted pattern, but they still kept the stripes. It's got fins in all the right places, and you're essentially, in order to play it, you have to give it a kiss. So when you give it a kiss, you make it play. And that's essentially how this one's going to sound. I don't know if they still sell these, but if they do, that would be great. And it is going to be a little bit quieter depending on where you are. I've been in places and this has been very loud. So that does it for the pendants that I have. I'd have to say that my favorite pendant, if I had to choose one, is definitely the seed pod. It's just got a nice deep sound. It's not too loud, it's not too quiet. It's got a nice even shape all over the place. And it's a really nice pendant. It's not too heavy. And it feels sturdy enough that I could wear it with a couple other ocarinas if I had to around my neck to walk around. If I had to choose my favorite from STL as far as pendants go, I'd probably choose either the whale shark or I'd choose the potion, because they're quieter and they have a very unique shape. We're going to go on to the 12-hole ocarinas, but before we make that jump, let's do the 10-hole, because I do have one 10-hole ocarina.